Now then folks, so we're just turning some of the tups to the sheep. In this trailer here we have a selection of 2 Primera tups of New Zealand genetics, and then also an easy dam tup. This one just here is an easy dam tup. He's an age tup, and we're just going to let him go now with the Texel crosses and a few Lonky mules, and then we're going to turn the other 2 tups out to another packet of sheep. This odd ewe here is a shearling, so it's last year's lamb, if you will, and that's just it was just one which had ended up getting separated from its siblings and cousins, if you like. So we're just going to put that back in with the other group of sheep when we let the 2 other tups go. Also, because it's an open top trailer, I think if there's a sheep or a shearling in the trailer with the tups, it'll keep them happy whilst we're travelling down the road. That's the hope anyway. Catch you in a bit. And there we go, I've just let him out, the easy dam tup. Hard work by myself, so I just started to put the camera down. Anyway, there he goes. Obviously lots of interest there. So I'll go to the other group of sheep now and let the other 2 tups out. I'm rather anxious that these 2 tups left in the trailer, if they see all this friendship making over the other side of the trailer, they might want to jump out. So we'll get to the other sheep and let them loose. So we're just going to let these tups out now. So there's 105 in this field. Now there's not much grass in here. Ideally we'd have more, but I'm going to move them quite frequently, and probably give them a mineral bucket just to help them, help supplement them, just over tupping especially. The idea is we're lambing a little bit later, so today's the 31st of October. Just move the dog. Dot, come here. Dot, dot, dot. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Good girl. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. So the second tup out is quite a big, powerful one. The other one's perhaps not just as good, really, but hopefully they'll do the job. So they're Primera tups. And yeah, there's 105 there, so there should be more than up to the task of mating with 105. Yeah, so the idea, so with lambing, it's 31st of October today, so these sheep will be due on about the 27th of March next year. So we normally lamb a little bit earlier than that, but because of the price of proving, which normal years will be maybe £250 a tonne. This year we're already talking in excess of £400 a tonne. And then Russia has just ceased allowing the export of grain from the Ukraine for a second time in the Black Sea there, so that's only going to drive the cost of grain up even higher. So we could easily be looking at £450 a tonne, maybe more even, for ewe proving in spring. So I want to cut down on proving usage anyway, which I have done significantly. You know, it's a large cost which we have to incur, and there's basically, I know you'll say farmers moan all the time, but there's no margin in it as it is, and to be paying £450 a tonne for proving, it's just, well, I don't know, we just cannot carry on like that. So part of the idea of lambing, I know a week's only a week, but a week later we'll just hopefully be a bit nearer to the spring flush of grass. We'll rest as much land as we can, even from now onwards. So hopefully by March there'll be a good wedge of grass in front of the lambing sheep, and with it being spring grass, hopefully they'll be enough protein and energy in that grass to help sustain the ewes through lambing, and then beyond into some late spring, early summer, to give the newborn lambs as much chance as we can to, you know, do well. That's what, I guess, that's what spring's all about, really. So yeah, that's the plan. Again, I'll probably use blocks just to help the sheep make sure they get all the minerals they need. And blocks are expensive, but I'd rather use blocks than lots of proving. And also, you know, we put the proving on the ground, you know, some of it isn't always utilised by the sheep. And also, one thing with proving at lambing time, it can cause a lot of mismothering, because the sheep run to the proving and then there's lambs here, there and everywhere. Yeah, they usually mother up, get back to the mums, but I'm just going to try this year with some sheep to lamb outside, a nice good wedge of grass in front of them, and basically hopefully let nature take its course. Don't get me wrong, I'll be shepherding them, I'll be keeping a close eye on them, but hopefully you know, a bit later in the spring, as nature intended really, more grass in front of them, blocks just to help keep the mineral balance correct, and hopefully, you know, a kind spring, because the cost of proving, cost of fertilizer, it's just astronomical. As a hill farm, we cannot sustain those sort of input costs. It's just impossible, you know. And also in the UK we have a basic payment scheme, and since we left Europe, that is going to cease. So the percentage of basic payment scheme has been gradually reduced. Well, not that gradually now. I think this year was 80%. We received 80% of the basic payment scheme, and next year we're down to 20%. So I think a lot of farms will be in for a huge shock, especially with the rising input costs. And the price of lamb and beef, which is ultimately our end sort of money maker, if you will, or money earner, is no different to previous years. So yeah, I think a lot of farmers are in for a huge shock. So we're just trying to keep input costs as low as possible, and that fits in, you know, the lack of using fertilizer, using less proving or even no proving. It all fits in with the regen ag, you know, basically doing nature's way and grazing in a way that allows the soil function to be at its optimum. So basically allowing grass to recover more, letting that microbiology in the soil sort of really kick off, and basically constantly moving your stock to allow for those longer recovery periods, which hopefully will all help. Obviously this field isn't a good example of that, but it's just you know, it's all about a balance, and you know, you can't just totally be regenerative overnight. You know, part of this pasture being like it is because I'm resting a whole lot more other land, so that in the spring it gives us that sort of cover in front of the stock to keep us going through the spring and summer. So this land will come into that sort of rotation, if you will, and it will get a long recovery period after this, but at the moment needs must. And so the sheep are in here. Ideally we'd have a lot more cover in here, and hopefully that'll benefit all around. Okay, I've rambled on enough. I'll go on now and get some more tups and turn them to some more sheep. See you later. So these are some of the other tups. They're standing reasonably well there. So I've just dropped them off, and there's 168 sheep up there, for them to hopefully mate with, and so they'll be due from the 27th of March onwards. I did just try calling the sheep down, but I think they'll soon start walking down when they think there's 3 tups in with them. So today is Halloween, 31st of October, and I'm not sure if many of you watching this will know, but this is Pendle Hill, and it's got quite a connection with Halloween because there were witches on Pendle Hill many years ago. I should look into my history more, but basically there are 3 witches, and well, there are 3 witches which were tried at Lancaster Crown Court, and so there is a history of witchcraft, and so in the past there has been quite large gatherings on Pendle Hill at Halloween. Anyway, that's Pendle Hill in the background, and sorry for the jerky camera motions. So this is one side of the Ribble Valley, and I'll pan round, so that's Worcester Hill over there, and then that over there is the other side of the Ribble Valley. And if I zoom in rather shakily, can't really see there, but that is where the majority of our land is, up on that hillside, up onto the top of that hill over there. So there's a bit of a standoff going on with the sheep and tups. But hopefully they'll soon get acquainted, and so starts another year in the farming calendar. Okay folks, see you later.